From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Ticats Today with Louie Butko.
Yes, it is Ticats Today for a Monday, August the 15th, 2022. Ticats Today on the Ticats Audio Network. Louie Butko here with you. Hope you had a great weekend, and I know you had at least a good weekend because it started off on the right note with a big win on Friday night over the Argos. Yes, the Ticats improved to 3-6 on this season with their Week 10 victory. 34-27 the final. Matthew Shiltz leading the way. Coming back from injury in the fourth quarter. Well, maybe not injury, but something flared up. We'll hear from him. We'll hear from head coach Orlando Steinauer. And we'll hear from Lawrence Woods III as well, because he had himself one heck of a game. Finishing with 222 yards on returns, averaging 25.5 yards per return on punt return, averaging 23 yards on kickoff return. So yeah, Lawrence Woods had himself a game. He would have had a touchdown, but it was called back on a holding call. And we're not going to talk about officiating. The Ticats won, so we won't waste our time dissecting each individual call that was made. But I do want to hear from you. You can always let me know on Twitter how you're feeling about this team at @LouieB_TV. I did take to Twitter this morning, wanted to know how you're feeling about the Cats right now, because you know what, this is the halfway point of the season. We are 9 games down, and there are 9 games left to go. So yeah, the Ticats have reached the halfway point. So throughout the week, we'll be giving out some grades. We'll get your thoughts as well. You can always let me know, like I said, how you're feeling at @LouieB_TV. You could be like Jared Breyer, who is cautiously optimistic. That's what he said on Twitter. This past game, they started doing the things they should have been doing earlier, playing 4 quarters, mixing up the offense. If they can rack up a string of wins in the next few weeks, we can pull off a home playoff game. Jim Martin at La Touton says, after Friday, cautiously optimistic. We control our own destiny, win the next 2 games, and we're first in the East. Woods is becoming deadly on the returns, and I can only imagine things will get better as people return from injury. We've got momentum, just need to keep it. You could be taking a more pessimistic tone, like our friend Paul Henderson at Hendy759. He says, not near good enough. Defense is fine and playing well. You can't be on the field all of the time. Play calling remains, they use the word pathetic here. I'm not sure if I agree with that one. O-line is huge problem as well. I really think the O-line is not a problem. I don't think the Argos had very many sacks, but you're entitled to your opinion, Paul, and we appreciate you listening. You do end it with good thing the East is a tire fire this year. So I'm not going to censor you. You know, you guys have your opinions. Coach has always said this. This is sports entertainment business. So you're always entitled to your opinion. Like Jordan at Jordan Bonomo 97, he says, somewhat hopeful. They have the talent to make another Grey Cup run, especially with how open the East is. But injuries, turnovers, and second half meltdowns are a problem. The opportunity is still there, and the team is capable. The next 3 games can make or break this season. And you can be like Professor John Miller SD at J Miller Stats. I don't know if that's a real Twitter account. Maybe it's somebody's burner account. Not naming any names or any former offensive lineman. But he at Professor John Miller at J Miller Stats says confused. That's definitely the feeling. All right, still ahead, we're going to hear from RJ Broadhead. He had the call on Friday night, but as we normally do here, let's get some post-game reaction. Let's start with the head coach and president of football ops. Here's Orlando Steinauer as he spoke after the game on Friday.
Yeah, obviously. It's an Eastern Division opponent. They were up on us 1-0 in the season series, and it was extremely important. And so, you know, that's what I could say about it. It was important to get the 2 points. Yeah, I can't say enough great things about Matt. It's one of the reasons that we went after him in the offseason. We thought he was a guy that showed poise, played in big games. And as we spoke to him in the offseason and courting him in free agency, it became very apparent that he was a natural leader, very smart, grounded individual. And, with the other few other phone calls, just thought that was our guy. And like I said before, there were other suitors for Matt, which is a credit to him and what other people see in him. So, yeah, credit to Matt. I think he did a fantastic job. We didn't think he was going to return. But I think that would also be discounting the rest of the football team and how everybody else stepped up. The quarterback is always going to be the focal point, but I can't say enough great things about the rest of the football team and the coaching staff and the job they did to put us in position to win this football game. Absolutely, he's tough, and Jamie showed great poise in the preseason, which is kind of why he was there. And we have another great one in Jalen Morton behind that we were prepared maybe to use in short yardage, even these situations if Jamie had to finish, which is the way we were trending. That's kind of the word that we got from the medical staff, was that that he wasn't going to return. So. And it's tough as a play caller too. And you're right, they did know, and he's going to take shots, right? When you're going to run it like that, and they know it, you're going to take shots. So, and also little things that nobody taught. He took care of the football also. Just so proud of him, of Lawrence. He's tough, and he's not a huge guy, but he's tough. He's not afraid to stick his head in the blender, and he will continue to do it for his teammates and for this organization. So, I thought there was some very great blocks out there, but I think he did a great job of isolating the ball up the field. And then when an opportunity presented itself to make somebody miss, was very important. And of course, his speed speaks for itself once he gets outside. Well, Dylan is a guy that was sought after by a lot of teams, and we're fortunate that he chose to stay here in Hamilton. And he is a leader, but not just by emotion, right? He sits in the front row every day, his notepad's open, things that nobody knows about, right? And he just keeps going and demands excellence from his teammates, holds them accountable, and he plays hard too. You can't do that as a leader if you're not exemplifying that. So credit the whole D-line. I thought, obviously there were some situations there where we knew they were going to pass, so we should be able to get off the ball pretty good. They tried to keep us off balance a little bit with a couple of screens, but for the most part, I thought we were able to just not let them extend plays back there.
I know it happened late in the game, but actually two guys, injury status, Deontay Evans and Jamal Roll. Jamal was right at the end of the game. Mm-hmm. Do you have any information on that?
I don't.
No?
I don't. Yeah, Seth is a guy that just has a natural stroke, and we saw this in training camp. And, it's always ratio. It wasn't like he actually got beat out. It was just a decision that we made ratio-wise early in the year. And just where we were at with this 2022 football team, we needed to get some results consistently, even if it is a field goal down the stretch. And so you don't ever know if things are going to work out, and there's a lot of season left. Right, there's a lot of season left, but that was a clutch kick at the end, and he's just a real level-headed guy. He's a great teammate. He's made big kicks in college, and we just hope this is just him scratching the surface.
That is the head coach and president of football operations, Orlando Steinauer, talking after Friday's win. Lots of nice things to say about Matthew Shiltz, about Dylan Wynn, and Lawrence Woods, and then about Seth Small there at the end, who looked really good in his return to the Hamilton Ticats. He looked good at camp. Coach mentioned that there too, but he has 12 of 13. He hit one from over 30 this week. He hit a couple from over 30 this past week. So, yeah, he's looking good, and the Ticats happy with their kicking situation. Mike Domagala has been doing a great job punting, and really that was one of those games that all three facets of the game, offense, defense, special teams, really helped lead the Ticats to victory. Ticats fans, it's time to ride on our strength. From now until October 13th, purchase 4 eligible Hercules passenger or light truck tires to receive a $100 Ticats rewards card and be entered to win our road trip sweepstakes. Available at participating Active Green and Ross Ontario locations, or visit HerculesTires.com/AGR rewards. All right, let's get some more post-game sound. Let's hear from the quarterback, Matthew Shiltz, who led the team to a victory. Not numbers that are going to jump off the page at you, but he got the win. He found Tim White late and led the Ticats to a victory. And here's what he had to say, talking about why he left the game in the third quarter. Here's what Matthew Shiltz had to say after the game on Friday.
I just had to get looked at by the trainers. Training staff, something flared up, and they wanted to make sure I was good to go. And after checking me out, everything was good, and was able to come back in.
Yeah,
so feeling good.
I gather it was your leg somewhere.
Yeah, lower body injury. So, but
okay.
was able to.
But you were
move
able to
around
get that
and throw
big pass
and be
deep
good.
to Tim.
Yep. So feeling great. Yeah, I think you hit it on the head. It's just the mentality of going into those situations in the second half. Obviously, we were down, and it was going to rely on us, right? We were down at halftime, so the offense needed to put up points to win the football game. And you just kind of have to flip that switch and get the boys going. And just proud of the way all the guys fought. And Jamie came in, played really well, had some big plays for us, and handled his situation as good as I've seen anybody handle that. So it was a truly team effort, and was just so proud of the way everybody fought and played. Yeah, I mean, in that, but also just stepping in unexpectedly when an injury takes place. You know, we talk about it in the quarterback room all the time. You just got to be ready, whether you're starting, whether you're the backup. You got to be a microwave when you go in there.
Like, he had no A snaps this week, right?
Yeah, we only had 1 day of practice and some walkthrough reps. So just the way he was able to go in there, make some big plays in the third quarter, and then make those plays in the fourth quarter on that big run there on the short yardage to set us up for a touchdown was incredible. So he's got a bright future in this league. I mean, we kind of hit on it earlier in the week, just getting that continuity with the O-line, and they're really starting to mesh and play well together, and we're getting our calls in, and they're providing great running lanes, providing a great pocket. Running backs are stepping up in protection, and receivers are making some big catches in traffic. And to win in this league, you got to be able to obviously throw the football. You got to be able to run the football in those situations when they're giving it to us. So the whole team's kind of meshing right now, so we're excited to see where it goes. Yeah, I mean, that's a critical situation. You know, we thought we had a big play, explosive touchdown on special teams, and whenever you get those plays as an offense, that helps, and obviously as a defense, just a huge play for the team. But, you know, when that situation comes back, kind of hit on it with Steve, it's the mentality that, yeah, it didn't go our way, but we got to put our foot in the ground and move forward and go. So I was just proud of the way we responded as an offense.
That is Matthew Shiltz as he spoke after the game. And one more piece of a post-game sound to get to. Let's hear from Lawrence Woods III. He was named the game's top performer by the Ticats Audio Network. Here's what he had to say after the game.
We play a full game. I mean, who wouldn't be tired? But if we have to strap up and lace up again, hey, by all means, I'm going to do it. I mean, yeah, as the game going on, I feel the atmosphere and what's going on in my responsibility as a special team player. But I mean, every time I hit the field, it's a new beginning. So every time I hit the field, I just think, all right, catch the ball and score. That's my job as a specialist. Definitely. I had a little mislip last week when we was in Toronto. So now it's when I was at practice, I just make sure every week I got in traffic, I iron cross, make sure I head on to the ball tight, so no more mishaps happen like that. No, regardless if Dane was playing or if we had Matt playing, personally for me, I always feel like I want to get the ball and score. Or if I'm on punt, I want to get down there and tackle the guy. So it's my mindset really doesn't change. It's more of a one mindset throughout the whole game, regardless of what special teams I'm on. I mean, it was very important for us just because we had to establish a lot of things, special teams, defense, and offense. We all had to work together and have complementary football so we can come out here and get this win so we can do what we want to do later in the season. It honestly gives everybody a little bit of encouragement and gives everybody a little bit of confidence boost to let them know regardless, we're gonna keep finishing. We're gonna finish regardless, and we're gonna keep playing hard. I mean, yeah, the callback definitely put us in a little hole and had some guys just feeling, I would say, uneasy. You know what I'm saying? Just because we knew what was going to happen, but regardless, no matter what, we got to go out there and play. You know what I'm saying? And no matter what momentum happens on, if interception, fumble, recovery, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You got to go out there and play. You just got to go out there and play regardless. So that's all I commend for. Just go out there and play.
And that is Lawrence Woods III as he spoke after Friday night's win. And for more on the game, let's hear from the man who called it. That is RJ Broadhead. You can hear him every game day on the Ticats Audio Network alongside Luke Tasker. He also hosts Ticats This Week, which drops every game day eve. And RJ, let's just get right into it. That was a game the Ticats needed to win, but man, it was great to see them really pull it out in the fourth quarter there.
Yeah, it was really a storyline that had to come to an end eventually. It was actually odd how many games were being lost in the fourth quarter. So when the Ticats were trailing at the half, I think most Ticats fans had maybe an uncomfortable feeling, but it was a great second half for the Tiger Cats and outscoring the Argos in the fourth quarter, 17-3. All it takes is that one game with a good fourth quarter to stop all those questions that the players and coaches are tired of hearing about. But it did turn into a story because it just happened so many times. So to be able to finish and get the win against the rivals and be right back in the mix in the East Division, it was a fun night for Ticats.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think you would have been safe to assume that, that second half could have gone off the rails because Matthew Shiltz didn't come out and you were wondering, okay, where's Matt? To be fair, Jamie Newman held his ground, did a great job in that third quarter. And then when Shiltz was able to get back into it in the fourth, really took over the game.
That was odd because it was just came out of the half and Shiltz was on the sideline and then had to leave before he even got into a series. So it was a bit confusing. We were trying to get some answers. It was a lower body injury of some sort, clearly not serious because he was able to get whatever treatment during the third quarter and return for the fourth. The action that Matt Shiltz got when Dane Evans was healthy, it paid off in that game. And Jamie Newman playing that third quarter, maybe that'll pay off down the road as well. Just getting a little bit of game action that he probably wouldn't have seen that much if Matt Shiltz was healthy for the third quarter. So there's a positive in that. There's a positive that the Shiltz came back, seems to be healthy, and Tiger Cats got the win. So Coach O is rubbing off on me with all this positivity, but it's good. There's a lot to be happy about.
It was very obvious they had won the game just watching the post-game press conference afterwards. You've called a lot of exciting players. I think your time, covering the CHL and all the young superstars that you get to see develop. That being said, Lawrence Woods III. Have you ever called a player can you think of a player that every time he touches the ball or the puck or the, whatever it is, you just know that I got to be ready for something special here?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to call dozens of Connor McDavid's games, and you always kind of doing play-by-play got excited when he got the puck because something might happen, and it is very similar to Lawrence Woods. You look at his numbers, which were amazing on punt returns, over 25 and a half yards on average. And that doesn't even include the 87-yard touchdown that he scored. Unfortunately, it was brought back to a holding penalty. But every time he gets it, he seems to make something happen. It's exciting. And it really adds to how dangerous the Tiger Cats can be for the opposition. They have to be on their toes. And it's... when that ball is kicked off, if he gets past that first wave, you'll hear me get excited. Ticats fans should get excited because he's got past the first wave and he spotted a hole. And once he's going, he's pretty tough to bring down. And actually, a couple of times, I think Beattie and Haggerty made tackles on Lawrence Woods, the kicker and the punter. Otherwise, he might have had a couple more touchdowns in that game. So he is so fun to watch, and he's really a game changer. It really, really helps win the game with that field position. It's so crucial and often gets overlooked.
We've talked about the offense. We've talked about the defense, or we talked about the special teams. Let's talk about the defense because, that has always been the strength of this Ticats team for as long as I've been covering it. So, going back 5, 6, 7 years. But they had one of those games where they made the big play when they needed to. It was really exciting to see. And I think potential-wise, what we saw on Friday we're talking about Ticats fans getting excited, getting pumped up. What we saw on Friday should give Ticats fans a real optimism for the second half of the season.
For sure. I have so much confidence in the defense. I'm almost surprised when there's multiple first downs on a drive against them. And if on short yardage, the other team, I'm not surprised if the Ticats defense stops them every time. I'm more surprised when they do get that third and inches. They're just so solid. Cariel Brooks coming in, we knew he was good. We knew he was one of the best in the secondary in the league, but he's just really hasn't missed a beat after missing, the first 5-6 games, whatever it was. And he's been crucial. Simone Lawrence, he was hurt. He came back. He had a big game. I thought Ciante Evans had an interception. They obviously called that back on defensive pass interference, but that would have been a big turnover. He continues to knock the ball down, leading the CFL in knockdowns. So it's fun to watch the defense. I have no problem when they're on the field. I'm more surprised if the other team's offense is successful. So, yeah, defense has been the backbone of the team so far this year. Hasn't faltered, in my opinion.
And I think that's a credit to the Ticats defense, because we did see a few drives that the Argos were a little more mechanical in getting down the field, but the adjustments that they were able to make, and this goes back to what we talked about off the top. This team made adjustments and they came out in the fourth quarter. How big of a momentum push do you think this is for the Cats? They're at 3-6, not where they want to be, but the first half of the season is behind them now. They can look at, the next few weeks. Season doesn't start till Labor Day. Such a cliche, but it's so true for a reason. How do you feel like the Ticats can use the momentum from this win moving forward?
Well, if they didn't win that game on Friday, I think Labor Day is maybe too late to say the season starts then. I was thinking about it this morning. You get to the midway point at the start of the season, before the Tiger Cats ever played a game. If you were told they were going to be 3-6, you might cringe and think, oh, this probably is not going to be a good season. So they are 3-6. That's the reality. However, the East Division has really helped them out. They're in second place due to the win against Montreal. They got another chance against Montreal, and that would really solidify things on Saturday with a victory. But right on Toronto's heels, I think that's a massive victory over the Argos. I thought it was pretty interesting that the Argos on the last play of the game kicked the field goal. So Ryan Dinwiddie, obviously thinking this is going to be a close series, and points for and against may play a factor. So it probably a good coaching move to get those points, but I think it's massive. They answered a lot of the questions that were haunting them going into a lot of the games. No Dane Evans. They managed to keep things simple. I really like what Matt Shiltz did. He didn't hang on to the ball very long. It was a couple of steps back. He either threw it or ran it or scrambled. They did get the one turnover. I did some calculations on that too, Louie, and between fumbles and interceptions, there's been 23 of them this season. 61% of the time, teams are scoring points off of those fumbles or interceptions. So it just seems if the Tiger Cats make a mistake, it burns them. But they were able to overcome that and get the victory, play well in the second half. So many positives, and beating the Argos and being right in the mix again. I think it is a big momentum victory for them.
3-6, 9 games down, 9 games to go, and we're fortunate to get to have you call them the rest of the way, and hopefully right up through the Grey Cup. RJ, always appreciate checking in with you. Thanks for doing this.
Well, thanks, Louie, and always good chatting with you too.
My thanks to RJ Broadhead for joining me, and my thanks to you for tuning in, because if you didn't tune in, it would just be me talking into a microphone by myself to myself. So thank you. We really do appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the Ticats Audio Network so you never miss an episode. Ticats fans, it's time to ride on our strength. From now until October 13th, purchase 4 eligible Hercules passenger or light truck tires to receive a $100 Ticats rewards card and be entered to win our road trip sweepstakes, available at participating Active Green and Ross, Ontario locations, or visit hercules-tires.com/AGR rewards. All right, that'll do it for us today. We are back tomorrow from practice, same time, same place, here on the Ticats Audio Network. I'm Louie Butko, hoping you have a great Monday.
Ticats Today can be heard every weekday, and we would like to hear from you. Email us at gameday@ticats.ca. Have a question or an opinion? We want to hear it. That's gameday@ticats.ca. Subscribe to the Ticats Audio Network on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.